So I'm Lauren Heiss, and I'm the president and founder of Heatline Corporation, and we're at the Heatline facility, and we're going to demonstrate a few things regarding roof and gutter and heating of downspouts, and in this particular case a drain that the downspout drains into, which then gravity dispenses of the water underground to a ditch or wherever. And we're often asked, how do we freeze protect this? Obviously, one way is when you're doing your roof and gutter, you're protecting your gutters, and then you're going to run your heating cable down the downspout, and you can continue it right into the drain. Now, if it's a long drain, you can use a fish tape. You can insert a fish tape and pull a rope through it so that after you can draw the heating cable into the drain to protect it. A lot of calls that we field, people say, our downspouts are fine. We don't need to freeze protect them. They drain off, they're fine. They may be in the sun, who knows, but there's not a problem with the downspout. But the problem occurs when it goes into the ground and it's trying to get to below the frost line. In that particular case, you can take a Paladin system, and we call this an open air entry, where the heating cable can be pushed right inside the pipe, right alongside that drain, all the way in, like so. And it can go in a long way. It can be pushed in, or it can be drawn in with a fish tape. Then the heating cable, depending on where your power supply is, you can simply plug it in and problem solved. But this way, this method, is a simple way to freeze protect the drain only. So you can just push it right inside, and I'll just do it again, like so. And you just push that cable in and just let it lay in that drain, and it'll freeze protect it. And if you need to mount it to the downspout, the system comes with tie wraps, nylon ties. And if you've never done this before, I'll just show you quick. You can combine a number of ties to go around a larger device, especially if it's square. So you can put the tie wraps around like so, and you can use them to mount and hold the cable in place so that it's out of harm's way. Normally, depending on where the receptacle is, you can use the nylon ties to take you up the downspout as much as you like, and it's a good idea. They're inexpensive. They're extremely cost effective. Once you're complete, you can just trim them off and keep the job looking nice and clean. So now that I've shown you how to install a Paladin directly into a drain, I'm going to show you another method. And this other method, we'll see it more in maybe a commercial building or in a situation where we want the cable to be tamper-proof, where it enters higher than a drain pipe location. So in this application, it's a little different than the one that I had just explained, where we had an open pipe or a free air opening in the pipe near the ground to push the Paladin heating cable right inside. If you look at this drain, the downspout goes right into the ground, and then under the ground it picks up the drain, which takes the water away. So we can't get in. So what do? Well, if you're doing a system and you're doing a roof system, you can of course bring the heating cable right through the downspout, and down we go, and you can draw it in with a fish tape. However, if your roof materials don't require freeze protection and you're only wanting to protect the drain that goes out, here's another way that you can do it. In this particular installation, we're going to use a grommet, a rubber grommet. We're going to drill a hole in the downspout close to the receptacle that's going to power the system, so that we don't have cables and everything all over the place. And we're going to enter through the side of the downspout and then draw the cable right in underground. So this makes a beautiful, clean, professional installation. Obviously, you pick the hole saw suitable for the size of the grommet that you're going to use. It's very important. And there's different kinds of grommets available. I'm using an automotive type rubber grommet, and you can see that it has a groove in it, and that groove is where it's going to mount to the side of the downspout. So here we go. And if possible, try to keep the slug so that it doesn't fall down into the pipe. It doesn't really matter if it does, but it's good. It's got sharp edges, so it's good if you can retain it. So now, we've got our hole, and you can see that pushing the cable in that hole, we'd have a sharp edge for the cable to chafe on. In the electrical trade, we never want electrical conductors resting on sharp edges. Electrical conductors flux, they're always moving. And if that cable's sitting on there, it will cut through. So we can put the grommet right inside here like so, but before we do it, I'm gonna put the cable through it. We've got our Paladin heating cable with the Paladin end seal on it. So this is the downward end of the heating cable. We're gonna put the heating cable down inside the downspout and then into the drain. Now normally, we'd have a fish tape or we may have a rope in here, but it's not impossible for short systems to push them through. So we're going to put the grommet on first, because the diameter of the hole is reasonably large. Some people would take a piece of tape and put on here first just to guard it. I'm fairly experienced, so I'm not going to do that. But the heating cable now goes into that hole, and you just continue to push that heating cable into the drain. So once the heating cable is completely installed, you take the grommet and you fit it carefully to the hole in the downspout. Like so. And as you can see, that bushes the hole so that there's no sharp edges that the heating cable could get damaged on. And then, since we're close to our receptacle, we can then take it, actually I'll use this one here, and you can take it and you can plug it right in right there. Now if you have tie wraps, you can use your tie wraps to neatly manage the cable, but there you go. So it just shows you how neat a tie wrap can make a project. So, but there's a nicely installed Paladin system into a downspout through the grommet. Ground fault protected, near the receptacle, 120 volt plug-in. This receptacle could be on a switch inside, so when the season's upon us, we just turn it on and let it do its job. In this demonstration, we're using a standard receptacle cover. It's only weatherproof when it's closed, this particular type of cover. If you're doing an installation like this, it's best that you use a polycarbonate cover. If you haven't seen them, they're available everywhere, and they're a little bit larger, and it's a polycarbonate clear cover that covers the receptacle so that it keeps the rain off of it. Okay, so thanks for visiting us this month, and I hope you enjoyed the vlog. Feel free to call us at any time on our toll-free number or our contact Heatline, www.heatline.com, for any further information. Thanks for watching.